Good day, everyone. Welcome to our lesson, Types of Communication According to Context, Intrapersonal, Interpersonal, Extended, Organizational Communication, and Intercultural Communication. Okay, so communication according to context. In this subsection, context in communication is referred to as a composite of people intersecting with each other. Communication may be also be classified according to intrapersonal, interpersonal, extended, organizational communication, and intercultural communication. We have here first the intrapersonal communication. What is intrapersonal communication? The Latin prefix intra means within or inside. Intrapersonal communication then means talking oneself. Some label it is self-inner talk, inner monologue, or inner dialogue. Psychologists call it with other names such as verbalization, or self-statement. Next, we have here for the self-talk can be advantageous as it can enable you to practice what you ought to say in times when you lack the motivation and confidence to speak. One magic statement that you can try is, I can do it. Okay, so that is intrapersonal communication. Okay, so self-talk can be advantageous and it can enable you to practice what you ought to say in times when you lack the motivation, okay, and confidence to speak. Okay, so that is um, intrapersonal. Next, we have here in interpersonal communication, as opposed to intra, the Latin prefix inter means between, among, and together. An interactive exchange takes place as interpersonal communication takes place. However, as it occurs a transaction does not necessarily take place since it can only be simple interaction such as greetings, getting to know a person, or ordinary conversation that happen between or among the interactions. This may occur in dyads or small groups, also known as group communication. Okay. Next, a communication situation is interpersonal if it is meant to establish or deepen one's relationship with each other. However, if the objective is to achieve something at the end of the conversation, it becomes transnational. Okay, we have here a example of story or for a speaker A and a speaker B. Okay, so okay, we have here for speaker A. Hello, I am okay, Anna, and you? Oh, I am Jeric. Okay, glad to meet you. How are you related to the bride? She is my cousin. Her mom and mine are sisters. How about you? She is my high school classmate. I never knew anything about her personal life, so we were so surprised when she sent us an invitation. As always, she is very private. I see. Well, she's really like that. Ever since we were kids, she was always been a very quiet person. Okay, so that is an example of interpersonal communication. Next, we have here, excuse me, would you know how to get to the nearest mall? Yes, in fact, you may go there in foot or simply take a jeepney. If you walk, it will take you about 20 minutes to get there. You can just take the exit gate near the hospital, then turn left and walk straight ahead. You won't miss it because of the big sign. Jeepney take us same route and it should not take you for more than 10 minutes, even with traffic. Thank you very much. I think I will just take the public transportation as I am running out of time. You have been really helpful. Thanks again. Okay, so this is an example of transactional um, transactional communication. Okay, so we have here extended communication. Extended communication involves the uses of electronic media. Unlike before, when it only quoted the uses of television and radio, nowadays the description of extended communication may be expanded as to include a tele, audio, or phone conferencing. video conferencing, Skype call, and other technological means. Okay, so that is extended communication. Okay, so with the use of electronic media, messages or transmitted they are transmitted quickly. For instance, with the use of the internet, recorded videos may be transmitted in seconds or minutes and may be reviewed or may be viewed by the greater number of people. Okay, so this is extended communication. For example, linked with a telecommunication system, people who are far from the video can participate in the meeting for conference and in a conference like this, particularly may not be physically present but are still able to track down the lectures and participate actively because of the mass articulation and dissemination of information, allowing speakers to reach a wider group of listeners. Okay, so that is the extended communication. Next, we have here the organizational communication. With this type, the focus is on the role that communication plays in an organizational context. Organizations comprise individuals who work for the company. When you graduate, for example, you became the professional, either working for a company or putting up your own. Whichever, you should know that each organization has expectation that you as a communication professional should meet or that you as an owner may establish. Okay, so that is organizational communication. Okay, for an organization to be successful, a system of communication should be put in place. A set of rules or standards for communication protocol should be made clear so that interaction patterns are established. On the part of the individual, you should be equipped with the needed oral and written communication skills that the organization expects you to possess. Okay, so that was organizational communication. Next, we have here the intercultural communication. Another type of communication is intercultural communication. As the term implies, it is communication between or among people having different linguistic, religious, ethnic, social, and professional background. Even gender, even gender differences affects communication. Individuals having different orientation communicate and interpret messages differently. This particularly happens with non-verbal communication. For instance, Australians considered eye contact as important in assessing the sincerity of the person, while for Indians, looking straight in eyes of the person while talking is inappropriate. Okay, so that is what we call the intercultural communication. Okay, so this intercultural communication is merely linguistic difference are of the essence. Okay, so with the event of the world Englishes, different cultures develop different lexicon, particular only to the speech community. In the Philippines, a local variety of English called Philippine English has been developed, which has introduced lexical innovation not found or used in other varieties, such as thrice, batchmate, CR or comfort room, salons, barangay captains, and high blood. Even in terms of pronunciations, words are pronounced differently by Filipinos. Okay, so this is what we call intercultural communication. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. Keep safe and God bless.